Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast. I'm super excited because we've got a very special guest this week. A little bit about this person. She's a content creator. She's a course creator. She's a social media coach, and she's an absolute weapon when it comes to TikTok. She's got over 1 million followers on there. So without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Ms. Hallee Smith. Hallee, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm awesome.
Thank you so much.
Am I pronouncing that right, Hallee?
Yes, Hallee, that is correct. It's funny
Okay.
because one of the big running jokes on my TikTok page is how to say, pronounce, and spell my name. Because a lot of times I get Haley, Hallie, all over the place. But
Well,
yes, you got it
I did a
right.
bit of a stalk, and it was one of your latest TikTok videos was the Starbucks one. You know how many Starbucks
Yes.
do I go to get someone to say my name right? And I'm like, I better make sure I pronounce it right, or I'm going to be in front of a million TikTokers looking like an idiot. So I'm glad I got that.
Little do you know, I'm recording you and setting you up for a
Yeah.
TikTok. Just kidding.
Hallee, I like to start all my podcasts off with a quote or mantra that inspires you or fires you up. Have you got one you could use for us?
Yes, I actually have two big ones that I like to reference a lot and live by. The first one is life begins at the end of your comfort zone. This just
Mm.
inspires me to continuously step out of my comfort zone, push myself to be the best I can be. The other one is to just keep moving and keep trying as long as you're coming from a place of compassion and integrity. Um, you're going to learn no matter what mistakes you make. So just to keep moving, keep trying, keep taking the next step.
Love it. Let's spend a minute on each one of those. The end of the comfort zone one. I love that myself, and I always, if I get comfortable, I'm like, okay, what can I do to get me uncomfortable? So I'm
Right.
curious there, Hallee. Are you doing anything at the moment that's making you uncomfortable, or are you working on anything at the moment that's getting you a little bit uncomfortable?
Oh boy, am I. Yes. So one thing would be my TikTok beta course.
Mm.
Very nerve-wracking internally, something to do, but a huge step out of my comfort zone, something I'm super excited about. So that is one thing. Another thing is going on a big trip. So I am going to be traveling out to LA. And while I am meeting a friend along the way, it is mostly solo travel. And I am someone who's naturally does not like being alone, but that's something that I've always wanted to overcome. So this is a huge step out of my comfort zone. And I actually leave in 2 days.
Woo.
So super relevant topic right now.
Love it. Well, I think and the other thing with that as well is if you keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, sooner or later, like nothing's going to be a drama because it's like, okay, I've done this. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do this.
Yep.
And life just becomes so much less stressful. So I love that. And I think that follows on to the next point as well, where it's like, hey, as long as you're doing something, you're going to move forward. And let's say this TikTok course. Now, I recommend everyone listening to this go and check out that TikTok course. We'll put the links down in the show notes. But here's the
Okay.
thing: Hallee may do it, and she doesn't get as many people sign up as she wants to, right? Or let's say she could do this podcast, and as a result, she doesn't get one extra TikTok follower or doesn't get one extra sale or whatever it may be. She's done something, and it's at least a step forward. It may be like, okay, well, I'm never going to podcast with this idiot again, or it may be like, okay, I didn't get any followers, but there's another opportunity here, or whatever it may be. If you're taking that step, one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to work or you're going to learn something. So I love that there.
Yes, definitely. So one of the things that is one of the things I've been keeping in mind with this course. It's like whether or not it's a huge hit or not, you're going to give it your all. And if it's not a huge hit, you're going to learn from it. What can I change? What can I do differently to improve for next time? So that's something I like to keep in mind to keep myself from over stressing, avoiding mental breakdowns along the way. But I really do like to live by that mantra to help me through tough times like this. Even with TikTok, when I first started, I don't know how far you creeped back on me, but a lot of people knew me as Siri, and that was cool for a while. But I'm like, I don't want to always be known as Siri. At first, people actually thought I was Siri, So that's something I kind of had to, that was a step. It was something that stuck, something that worked, but now I'm pivoting. I slowly pivoted. Okay, hey, I'm Hallee, but I act as Siri. And now I've slowly phased that character out a bit. And now I'm doing more broader content, I guess you'd say. So
Awesome.
that's another good example of taking a step, finding something that works, and then tweaking as you go, pivoting as you go, and following what works.
Yes, agree. Okay, well, let's get into it, Hallie. Let's talk about TikTok. Now, most people listening to this podcast, I'd probably say they're in one of two categories. Either they don't know what TikTok is and they've never been on there, or maybe they've got an account and they follow a few people for a bit of fun, but probably don't use it for business purposes. So I'm happy to hand it over to you here. We can start wherever we want to start, but I think a good place may be, okay, TikTok 101, what is it and how can it be handy for business users?
Yeah, so the most important thing, and what my goal is with this TikTok 101 course, is to teach the bare basics. If you're new to the platform, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. And it's going to be one of those things that you're like, you commit to, and then you fall off the wagon if you don't understand it on a fundamental level first. So that is what I'm stressing in this course, teaching you exactly how, download the app, make your account, and figure everything out first before you overwhelm yourself with posting. Now, what is TikTok? TikTok is a huge opportunity right now. So I'll get a little bit into that. If I go off too much on a tangent, just stop me because I could talk about this for hours. But so TikTok is such a unique opportunity, mainly because the For You page. This algorithm is so advanced that it customizes everything specifically to you. So everybody's For You page looks completely different. If you don't know anything about TikTok, that is how it works. And there's all kinds of people like algorithm analyzers, content creators, people I've talked to that try to analyze this algorithm, figure out how does this work? How do so many people's videos go so viral? And there's tons of theories, but TikTok is very secretive about their algorithm. So, one of the theories is that just because it can niche down so well and everybody's For You page looks different, it's able to categorize people into groups. And so then it's almost like targeted advertising, but organic. So like this algorithm will do that for you. So say, for example, you're making videos about coffee, kind of like I'm doing. I have this demographic of coffee lovers now that are continuously seeing my content and seeing the coffee related content. And if you're scrolling on your For You page, so you get a video about plants, gardening, something like that, you like that video, you're going to start getting more content related to that specific topic. So that is why TikTok is so unique in the fact that it can bring these videos to you specifically for you. Another big reason that TikTok's so unique is there's a place for everybody. A lot of times you see on Instagram, it's kind of evolved. There's almost a standard where it's like you have this Instagram influencers, or it's like people are saying it's harder to grow organically now, although it is different with Reels. Reels is a big opportunity too. But anyways, on TikTok, because of this customization, you can be you on TikTok and find your place on TikTok and be completely unique. It's a really good space for creativity. And like I said, just being yourself and putting your personality out there.
Yes. Wow. Okay. So many good bits of information there. I'll even summarize and simplify as well. So, because I'm not a huge TikTok user myself, so for those people that are like, For You page, what the hell is that? So just to make sure I've got it, that's when you first jump on TikTok. And this is why I like it, where I find it different to most other social media platforms. Let's use a Facebook as an example. If I go on Facebook, my feed is basically my friends and family on there, right? But if I go on TikTok, straight away it's my For You page, right? That's the first one I see, which is essentially the TikTok feed, if we were speaking to Facebook users, and that's new people that you're on there. That's not necessarily people that you're already following. TikTok's going to show you a whole heap of new people. Is that the overview of the For You page?
Essentially, yes, but the one thing that is different is, so on the main screen, you can scroll your For You page and you can also scroll your following page. And how, I'll use Instagram as an example, how Instagram's set up, the primary thing you scroll is your feed, which is the
Mm.
people you follow. On TikTok, it's the opposite. So Instagram does have an explore page, but it's not necessarily the same thing.
I never
Unless
checked
unless
that.
you go into Reels. Reels is mimicking TikTok. So I
Mm.
can't completely disregard that aspect, but I'm talking overarching Instagram. But yeah, the For You page essentially is the feed you scroll, but it's not people. It could be people you follow, but it's just going to be completely random or whatever TikTok's pushing at you at that time.
Yes, and that's where I see the opportunity. It's like any other platform, you got to beg for followers, but TikTok, it's like the standard is you're looking to get in front of new people, and
Yeah,
then if those
people
people,
are very willing to follow on TikTok.
yeah, and also it's like what I feel with TikTok is the app is going to show, say as a user, let's say I jump on TikTok, it's going to show me new people. And Hallie's already mentioned how good the algorithm is. They're going to show me stuff that I actually want to see, which
Right.
means that I'm going to stay on that app more, and means if I
Yes.
like that stuff, I'm probably going to like it. And then if I like it, it's the app's probably going to show me more of that stuff. And if I see you a couple times, oh yeah, Hallee, I've seen her a couple times. You know what? I'm going to follow her. It's just an opportunity that isn't on any other app. So I love that. And I love how you've mentioned it's sort of a place for everyone. Like Instagram, if you're not a 10 out of 10 bikini model, it can be hard to get ahead in life, on Instagram. Whereas on TikTok, there's different things. You can follow people for marketing rules. You can follow people that do dances. You can follow people that do funny stuff. There's all those different options there. So I love that. I did have a question before we move on to like, okay, that's what it's for. How do we actually grow it? In regards to reels, is it pretty much the same thing now? Like, does the Instagram reel work exactly the same as the TikTok? Is it just, hey, I'll do a TikTok and then I'll post it on an Instagram reel as well because it's essentially the same thing, or are there still differences between the two?
They're very similar in terms of overarching concept. The TikTok Reels, the biggest, I guess I would say, problem with them is that they only go up to 30 seconds. TikToks go up to a minute.
Oh,
So
yes.
a lot of people, you want to repurpose your content, but what
Yeah.
sucks a lot of times is my content specifically is typically above 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to want to repost it to Instagram Reels, it has to either be less than 30 seconds or I have to re-edit it a shorter version. Um, in terms of editing in app, I think that TikTok's a lot easier to edit in the app.
Okay.
And then there's a couple other little quirks that are different, but overall, those are the main differences. And there's also kind of that etiquette difference
Yeah.
of, like I said, the Instagram, the same content won't necessarily perform just as well on Instagram as it does in TikTok.
Gotcha. And question here, and this isn't necessarily a teaching thing, this is just a personal one. Do you repurpose? Are you like, right, I know TikTok is your focus. I'm going to specifically create it there for TikTok. But hey, this video is under 30 seconds. Why don't I post it on Instagram Reels anyway? Is that what you would do?
Yes,
Or
I
do you use
repurpose. Yes, I repurpose where I can.
Yeah.
And I've been testing out different systems just in the way I work with my content creation so that I can most efficiently repurpose content. I do have a new one that I'm going to be testing here soon in 2021. But yeah, repurposing content, if I'm recommending it, yes, definitely. It'll save you a lot of time if you can get a system going, and it'll get your message consistently out there.
Is that one thing you're going to cover in your course as well? Like if someone does that, they're going to be like, not only am I going to learn TikTok, but I might pick up a few tricks on how I can repurpose this on Instagram Reels and whatnot too.
I do go briefly into strategy in the TikTok 101 course, but I don't go deep into strategy. I've talked of, and I haven't decided this fully yet, potentially creating a 102 version before I come out with the full version. But if so, again, that would be another beta, just testing out, communicating with people, testing out the course overall.
Makes sense. All right, cool. So you've sold me on TikTok. I'm sure a lot of the listeners are like, okay, this thing is pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I'm interested. And now let's speak to maybe people that have been on there having a bit of fun. You know, they've maybe gone on there. They know how the app works. They've followed a few people. They, go on, or they aim to go on for 5-10 minutes a day when they're bored, but it ends up being 50-60 minutes because they just get addicted.
Mhm.
But they don't know how to, I guess, what to post or how to grow their own sort of TikTok account. Can you give us any tips, any tactics, any strategies for someone that's got a TikTok account? They know how it works, but they want to speed up the process and grow their following from ideal people, not just, random people, from people that are ideally going to buy something from them. Any tips there, Hallee?
Yeah, so two main points to touch on. The first thing I recommend is consistency. Starting off, posting, the more you post, the better. So from personal experience and from looking into other people's accounts, when you first start creating, you're going to want to post a lot. If your goals to go viral. If your goals to go viral, you're going to want to be posting 2 to 3 times a day if possible, which can be a lot. I was posting twice a day when I first started gaining traction on TikTok. Then I cut it back to once a day. And now I'm even scaling back even more now that I have a loyal following. So you can kind of slowly transition to quality over quantity. But when you're starting off, you're going to want to be testing.
Yeah.
You want to see what works. So number 1, consistency. Number 2, test and observe.
Yeah.
So you'll figure out if you have a hit video, you want to play off of that video. So whether that's a part 1 or just staying on the same theme or same topic. But what I've noticed about the algorithm is, for example, those Starbucks videos, I post part 1 and then I post part 2 and then I post part 3. And it seems to be catching that same audience. So it's like when these videos can be categorized to an audience, they continue to be pushed. So testing and pivoting that's something I do talk about in the course more in depth, is just testing and pivoting and observing, having this balance between observing what works and strategically putting out what you want to be putting out.
Yes, love it. Okay, wow. So many good bits of info there. Let me
Yeah.
summarize and simplify
I
again.
might have done like an info puke right there, but
Okay, so let me break this down to my knowledge. All right, so consistency is step number 1. Like anything in life, right? You want to lose weight, you don't go to the gym once a week. It's not going to do anything, You go every single day, get that consistency in, and one of two things is going to happen, right? Goes back to the original quote. You're either going to learn, or it's either going to work or you're going to learn, right? It's like, okay,
exactly.
I did this and nobody's liking this stuff. This content must be pretty rubbish, How can I change around and find something better? Or, hey, I did this and okay, this has got quite a bit of traction here. Why did this work? How can I do something similar across here? And I think that ties in well with consistency, because if you're just posting willy-nilly, or if you're not posting a lot, you're posting once a week, or let's say I'm posting once a week, Hallee's posting once a day, and let's say it takes 20 posts to find out what works. Hallee's going to figure it out in 20 days, what works and what doesn't. It's going to take me 20 weeks, So, if you can get that consistent in the start, you're going to, and you're probably going to get better as well, just from doing it that many times. You're going to get quicker at using it. You're going to interact with more people quicker. You're going to learn the new functions, So I love how you've done that. And I love the test, because it's funny. And I feel everyone of life is guilty, It's like, no matter what platform you're using, let's use Instagram as an example. Someone may be like, I don't get it. I'm posting on Instagram every day and I'm not getting any new followers. Well, if you're posting the same stuff and it's not working, it's not just going to magically change,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
at least test and try some different things. Now, question here, Hallee, you mentioned that balance between, okay, what you want to post and what works, because it's, you need a bit of both, and you got to sort of meet in the middle, because, not me, but if there was a better looking guy, he could probably take a video with his shirt off and get a whole heap of followers. But if that's not going to help sell his business course, it's not really going to help, But on the flip side, if you just post a boring ass minute video of you saying something, even though it may be valuable content, it may not be what the person's on TikTok. So we've got to find that middle ground. Any suggestions to get started, Hallee? Let's say someone's like, "Hey, Hallee, like I just have no idea where to start. You know, what can I do to start?" Any tips there for like the
Yes. So
very first post?
yeah, what I like to recommend is for you to, if you really want to get started and you have no idea where to start, find 3 to 5 accounts that either you want to be just like them, you're selling a similar product, maybe you just think they're funny, maybe they're entertaining, maybe you like their video style, whatever it may be. Find 3 to 5 accounts and really dive into those accounts. What do you like about it? Do you just like their video style? Do you want to mimic their video style, but then add in your message? Do you want to maybe add in like, your own little fun video tricks, but do it in the same sequence of like maybe a skit or something that they're doing, whatever it may be. Finding those accounts, analyzing, even going into the comments, checking out their followers, see how they engage with their audience. So really just doing some research on how other successful creators are working, or maybe business versus creator. There's 2 different types of accounts. So it just kind of depends on what your goals are with the platform. But that's how I recommend getting started, especially if you're feeling stuck. I'll even do that if I'm having like creative block. I'll just set a timer, because the For You page can really suck you in. You can get stuck on there for hours. Set a timer and like get on there and strategically scroll. Or maybe I'll look at some of the accounts I follow for contents, ideas, or inspiration. But that's a really good way to, get started and get your mind moving.
100%. That's basically my life strategy. You know, if I'm looking at anything, like let me give you an example. So what I do that a lot with memes. I like to post, funny memes in my Facebook groups. And I've got 2 distinct audiences. I've got an audience just for fitness professionals, and I've got an audience just for course creators. And what I like about memes is like the photo you can sort of change to suit your niche, So like I saw someone posted a meme. It was one of the guy, that meme where it's the guy and he's cheating on his girlfriend. He's got his girlfriend next to him, and yeah, that one there. Someone posted something. It had nothing to do with course creation, right? But I was like, you know what? I can see a funny joke here with course creation. So I just, replaced the words with, the good looking girl was, what platform do I use? Kajabi, Teachable, yada, yada, yada. And then the girlfriend was like, hey, you don't have a lead magnet, an email list, an audience, blah, 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 blah. And I was
remember seeing that actually, and that kind of resonated because I'm in the process of picking what platform to go with.
Exactly, bang on. And I feel TikTok can be the same, like you can see what someone did in their niche, and you're like, hold on, I could do something very similar, but replace where they did that with my niche, replace where they did that with my niche. So I love that idea there. Okay, let's move down the track here, Hallee. Let's say someone's now been on TikTok for a while and they've got a few followers. They're like, hey, I'm on TikTok, maybe not 1 million followers like yourself, but maybe they've got, in the thousands, but they're not quite monetizing it. Any tips there? How do we go from just having a following to actually making some dollars from it?
Yeah, so to be completely honest, that's actually the point I'm at right now, is turning to the monetization point. And I'm really carefully tracking everything that I do so that I can mimic eventually this process that I'm figuring out in this course, which is why I'm being very strategic with how I'm doing the beta, and how right now I'm focusing on the growth aspect, my expertise in the growth aspect. So I'm actually going to be launching a merchandise line in the next couple weeks. That is one, if you're a content creator, merchandise is a huge, a lot of times first step for monetizing your platform. In terms of the app itself, if you're above, I believe it's 100,000 followers, you can apply to be a part of the Creator Fund, where you will make some passive income off of your views and just account activity. So that's not like a huge thing. That's just something to keep in mind if anyone didn't know about it. In terms of making sales and monetizing, It's really important, I've found, to try to convert your following as you go.
Mm.
I've been working to convert from TikTok to Instagram.
Yep.
So I'll post videos. One good way to do it is post interesting videos that incorporate your style, but also incentivize to bring you over to Instagram. Whether I did a giveaway, that's one good way to try to convert your following, is a giveaway. You can also do something I've tried, is like a short version of a video, go to Instagram for the full, or go to YouTube for the full version. So trying to get those people on all your platforms, I would say, would be one of the tips I'd give for monetizing, because that gets people in your circle, that gets people interested in you. But like I said, I'm still building the process, so I don't want to speak to anything I haven't proven myself yet.
Yeah.
But I think that that is a really good first step: converting to other platforms, connecting with your audience, and getting to know your audience and know what they want. So I'll give you an example for my audience. I know a lot of them love coffee. So my merchandise line is all coffee related. I went on my live and I asked my audience, what do you want to see on these shirts? And I took their suggestions and used them to design the shirts. So depending on the nature of your business, it might depend on how interactive and how much you can go off of what your audience wants. But that's another recommendation I'd say, is do what your audience wants, give them what they want, because then they're the ones that are going to buy it from you.
Yes.
So if it's a product, I think it's easier to more customize. If you're a service or selling a course, you'll want to be sure that your audience needs your course, right? That you're fulfilling that need.
Love that. I've got a one question on that, but I'll give a quick summary there. I love how you've mentioned that, because from the course creator side of things, there's two common problems, right? The first problem is you have no one to sell to. You got this course, but you got no one to sell to. But TikTok can be a good way to build that audience, get that audience on your other platforms, and now you've got people to actually sell to. And then also the other problem with course creators is selling a course that nobody wants, right? And ideally, you want to do like you're doing, right? You do the beta first, you sell it, you get the numbers. Okay, great. How can I fix it up? Yada, yada, yada. And to do that, you need the audience as well. So I love how you've mentioned that. Just a couple questions there. So when I was checking out your TikTok before, Hallee, I saw that you had linked on your actual profile. I could go straight to your YouTube and straight to your Instagram. And you also had a link there to a link tree, I believe, where I could join your Facebook group and, do all this other stuff as well. Is that just because you've got 1 million followers, or can anybody connect their Instagram, YouTube, have a link there as well?
Anybody can do that. I use Linktree to do that. It's free. I think there's like an upgrade version, but I use the free version. There's other similar softwares, but I think Linktree works really well. You can, as you saw, you can connect all kinds of different things in there, and you can throw that link in your Instagram bio, you can throw that in your Twitter bio, you can throw that everywhere, so that people have all these links just in one place, and it keeps people, essentially in your circle.
Love it. And I guess there are many different strategies, right? But I feel as long as you've got that link, you can play around with it. You can either have your link tree there and get everything, or if you are just pushing your Facebook group, hey, just put your Facebook group there,
Right.
If you are just pushing your beta course role, hey, just put it in there, you can always, you're not locked in for life, But
Exactly.
I think that's handy that you've got a place there where people can, go elsewhere as well. And then, you can connect your other socials. So I think that's handy. Hallee, I want to be respectful of your time. So there's just a couple questions I always like to finish off with. The first one is around mentors. So you're obviously a mentor for plenty of people out there that want to get better coffee and want to get better at TikTok as well. So I'm curious to hear who your mentors have been. And if you could answer this in a few different ways, a mentor that you've paid money to, right? And you've done their course or hired them as a coach, whatever it may be. A mentor that you haven't paid money to, but you follow them. Maybe they're, a famous TikToker or YouTuber or whatever it may be. And then a book that you recommend every aspiring course creator that wants to sell more courses should read. What can you tell us there?
Okay, good question. So I'll start with paid mentor. I actually hired a business coach recently, and she's really the one that's been pushing me and helping me to monetize my platform and get to where I need to be with that, creating the course. Leilani, I think she was the one that connected us actually.
Yeah.
So she is my business coach. She's been super helpful. She actually helped me today of a huge stressful moment, but she's been super helpful. I've loved having her as a coach so far, and I'm excited to keep moving. I couldn't do it without her. Haven't paid. I would just say honestly, my support system. So like both my parents have been super helpful. My dad is an entrepreneur as well, so he's been super helpful as well with giving me guidance, financial advice, motivation. And in terms of like someone I really look up to, Rachel Hollis is one of my favorite motivational people that I aspire to be like, that I look up to. I really love all her content and all that she does. Book, let me think. So my favorite book that, I mean, it's not necessarily related to course creation.
It's okay. Business, marketing, sales.
Yeah. It's called You Are a Badass by
Ooh.
Jensen Zero.
Yes.
And
Okay.
it is so good. It's a really easy read. It's very entertaining. It's kind of on the motivation, self-help side, like getting out of your own way, stepping out of your comfort zone, that type of stuff. It's so good. And because some of those books can get boring, but hers, it's just, it's funny, it's engaging, and it's a really quick read. And I reference it all the time. I've read it through twice. So definitely recommend that book.
Awesome. Love it. All right, cool. Well, Hallee, thanks very much for your time. A
of
million
course.
followers on TikTok. There's probably a million
Thank
places you
so
could have
much
been,
for
and
having me.
you've
This is
chosen
actually,
here.
guess what? My very first podcast.
No, whoa, wow, you've done awesome for your first podcast.
Thank you.
My final question, or my second final question, is: someone wants to follow you, Hallee. Where do we go? Is TikTok the best place? Do we join your Facebook group? Follow you on Instagram? What's all of the? Go to your link tree. What's the best?
I would say two good places to start: TikTok and Instagram. My username is Hallee, HALLEE_Smith. That's my username on pretty much every platform. If not, it's like one letter different or one number different. But TikTok and Instagram, two main places to follow me. I do also have a business Instagram account, Hallee Media, which is linked in my Instagram bio. My Facebook group, that is linked in my link tree. So if you're interested in the course, that's where you're going to want to go, is my Facebook group. That's where I'll update everybody about the course, give little tips, whatever it may be. So if you are interested in the TikTok 101 course, go check that out. I'll also provide the link for signing up for the course on January 10th.
I'll throw them all in the show notes. So just check out the show notes. Everything will be there. Okay. Final question, Hallee, that's all I wanted to get off my chest. Is there anything I should have asked you but didn't, or anything I should have asked you but forgot to ask you? Or is there anything you want to finish us off with?
Honestly, just if you're thinking, this is my biggest advice, like if you're thinking about TikTok, do it. Just commit to it and get over the fear of starting something new. It's something I've been doing recently with an app called Clubhouse, but it's just this huge fear. You know Clubhouse?
Yeah, I just got on yesterday, so I'm just about to follow you right now.
Yeah, we'll have to connect. Yeah, so I guess that's another place you can connect with me. But it speaks to, pushing out of your comfort zone, like we said in the beginning, taking a step, just keep trying, no matter what that step may be. But yeah, learn something new. Don't be afraid to learn something new and try something that you feel maybe uncomfortable or inadequate at it first, because you will get better. When I first made TikToks, I look back at my old ones, I'm like, like if you're not cringing at your old work, then you didn't start soon enough.
Yes, agree 100%. Awesome. All right, Hallee, well, thank you very much for your time and we'll be in touch.
Of course. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.